Welcome to my classroom. In this mass transfer 1 course, in this module number 2, convective mass transfer, in the previous lecture we have discussed about what is mass transfer coefficient, how to define mass transfer coefficient with its superscript and subscript, how to denote it for various driving forces or various phases, gas phase or liquid phase, or A is diffusing through B, non-diffusing B, or equimolar counter diffusion, how to write mass transfer coefficient and their corresponding units, how to relate one mass transfer coefficient to another mass transfer coefficient. All that have been discussed in detail in the previous lecture. I hope you have completed that. Okay. Now, if you look at the evaluation part of the mass transfer coefficient, it can be done with 4 methods. One is dimensional analysis along with experimentation. Number 2, analogies between momentum transfer, heat transfer and mass transfer. Number 3, exact laminar boundary layer theory analysis or approximate boundary layer analysis. So in these 4 methods we can evaluate the mass transfer coefficient, and if you look at the various parameters which affect the mass transfer coefficient, similar to heat transfer coefficient, this mass transfer coefficient also will be determined by the property, the fluid properties, the flowing fluid, okay, the properties like density, viscosity, all that, and the dynamic properties of the fluid, that is the velocity with which it is flowing. So that will also impact the mass transfer coefficient, and the geometry, size, shape and the geometry of the given system of interest. That means whether we are having a spherical system or we have a cylindrical system, we have a disc. So because this convective mass transfer is all about flow past fluid solids, right? So what is the structure, shape of the solids will also have a say in the performance or in the value of the mass transfer coefficients. Okay, so what is mass transfer coefficient? It is a ratio of flux, molar flux by driving force. So the driving force can be in terms of concentration, it can be in terms of partial pressure, it can be in terms of mole fraction, right? So this mass transfer coefficient can be evaluated using dimensional analysis, because there we can define some of the dimensionless numbers also. Okay, dimensional analysis you might have used in fluid mechanics course also. So we use the Rayleigh's method or Buckingham pi theorem methods, where in Buckingham pi theorem method, Buckingham first pi theorem and second pi theorem are there. So Buckingham first pi theorem states that if there are n number of variables, primary variables in the system, and if m number of variables are needed to define the system, which will take care, for example, for fluid mechanics, heat transfer and mass transfer, we will make use of mass, length and time as the repeating units. Okay, so these 3 units are dimensions are required to define a system. Okay, so with this, if how many pi groups are possible? N minus m, where n is the total number of variables involved in the system and m number of variables are required to define m number of m is the number of dimensions required to define the system. Then we will have n minus m number of pi groups. That is, what is pi group? It is dimensionless groups. Okay, just like Reynolds number in fluid mechanics, power number, all that we have defined, right? So similar to that, here also in mass transfer and heat transfer we have several dimensionless number, they can be related. So such how these numbers are related, I told you about momentum diffusivity, thermal diffusivity and mass diffusivity. So how these 3 can be related to each other with different dimensionless numbers also can be obtained through dimensional analysis. Okay, so we will perform a dimensional analysis for a mass transfer coefficient. So mass transfer coefficient will depend upon density, viscosity, characteristic length. Any one characteristic length we can take. Okay, so for example, if you look at the characteristic length for a pipe, can be pipe or sphere diameter. So diameter, or if it is a flow past a flat plate, the length from the leading edge will be the characteristic length. Okay, so that way we can have density, we can have viscosity, velocity of the fluid. Okay, and we can have this thing, what is that, diameter of the pipe, if it is a diameter, or any characteristic length. So that one, and mass transfer coefficient, okay, and mass diffusivity DAB. If these 6 are the primary parameters, how we can obtain the dimensionless number for the system? So we have 6 parameters. One is mass transfer coefficient, two is DAB, then you have rho, V, D and mu. Okay, so D can be anything, characteristic length. So that way, if 6 parameters are there, so 3 repeating parameters we can, 3 is the number of dimensions required to define the system, ML and T. So we can have 3 pi groups. Okay, so it is possible to attain 3 pi groups. So those we will define those 3 pi groups in this lecture. Okay. So we have seen evaluation of the mass transfer coefficient can be done through dimensional analysis, or it can be done through analogies between momentum transfer, heat transfer and mass transfer, or it can be done through exact laminar boundary layer analysis or approximate boundary layer analysis. Right? To start with the dimensional analysis, for analogy to exist between momentum, heat and mass transfer, for analogy to exist between momentum, heat and mass transfer, certain conditions are to be met. That is, the physical properties should remain constant and there should not be any energy or mass produced within the system. That means no chemical reaction should be there. And there is no emission or absorption of radiant energy from the system, and there is no viscous dissipation of energy, and the velocity profile is not affected by the mass transfer taking place. Okay, remember there are several things where simultaneous heat and mass transfer will be taking place. For example, take the case of the thermometer, wet bulb thermometer. So the diffusion of air into the wet film, wet cloth that is around the wick, we call it as wick, wet wick. The diffusion takes place, then depending upon the temperature, there is rise in the mercury level in the thermometer, right? So that way, so we have always simultaneously heat, mass and momentum taking place. So for the analogy to exist between them, we should have physical properties don't change with change. That means they should remain constant, and there is no chemical reaction involved. That is, for mass or energy produced, no mass or energy is produced within the system, and there is no radiant heat loss, and there is no viscous dissipation of energy, and the velocity profile is unaffected by the mass transfer taking place. Okay, to start with, we define several dimensionless number with respect to momentum transfer. I think you have been using Reynolds number in fluid mechanics, power number when you talk about pumps, right? So we have power number, Reynolds number in fluid mechanics, which we might have used, and also we have friction factor F, right, in fluid mechanics. So that we can bring in some analogies for momentum, heat and mass transfer using the dimensionless numbers, as I told earlier also. So the heat transfer coefficient and mass transfer coefficients are difficult to measure experimentally. So that way, but experimentally, friction factor can be determined based on the Reynolds number and age of the pipe. Depending upon the roughness parameter in the pipe, we can able to get the friction factor. Once we have this friction factor, we can relate this to our heat transfer coefficient and mass transfer coefficient. That analysis of momentum, heat and mass transfer is all about. So before moving to this analysis of momentum and heat and mass transfer, we will start with some dimensionless numbers. Okay, so dimensionless numbers are achieved through dimensional analysis. I hope from school onwards we have been doing Rayleigh's method to obtain the dimensionless numbers. Okay, so there should be dimensional homogeneity between the left hand side and right hand side of the terms. So that way we can express in this. We have Buckingham first theorem and second theorem. In Buckingham first theorem, the number of dimensionless groups are equal to number of variables minus number of fundamental dimensions. So I just explained you in the beginning also. So if there are 6 parameters, 3 fundamental dimensions, then we can have 3 pi groups, right? And the second Buckingham pi theorem states that each pi group is a function of 3 fundamental, 3 repeating groups and 1 non-repeating group. Okay, so that is the 3 fundamental. We choose 3 repeating variables, no? So with that we can go towards attaining the what is dimensionless numbers. Okay, so we can perform the dimensional analysis for mass transfer coefficient. Okay, So for that, to perform dimensional analysis for any system, it can be for momentum transfer, heat transfer, or mass transfer, we should first identify what are the significant parameters. If you have some useless 12 parameters, no use. We have to identify what are the significant parameters that is affecting the convective mass transfer. So dimensionless numbers are often used to correlate the convective transfer data between either a heat transfer or in mass transfer or in momentum transfer. We can able to correlate the convective mass transfer data. Okay, in momentum transfer, Reynolds number and friction factor plays a major role, as I just explained. And in heat transfer also, you will be having in convective heat transfer, we have Prandtl number, Nusselt number, which are important. And similarly, we can define some new dimensionless number which will be useful for correlating the convective mass transfer data also. Okay, so to start with, we have seen already three parameters, important parameters, which will be used for analogy between momentum, heat, and mass transfer. I told you about momentum diffusivity, that is nothing but your kinematic viscosity, the ratio of dynamic viscosity by density. And thermal diffusivity, I told you about it also. The thermal diffusivity, all will have the unit of meter square per second. And in mass transfer, we have molecular diffusivity, which is mass diffusivity. Okay, so it can be easily shown that all the three diffusivities will have the unit of L square T minus 1, that is meter square per second unit. Okay, in SI unit system. Okay, so if you take any ratio between two diffusivities, what we get is a dimensionless number. Okay, so we are going to get dimensionless number if we make ratio between these two. For example, if we take ratio between these, if you are taking ratio between this momentum diffusivity and thermal diffusivity, what we get is Prandtl number. Okay, we get Prandtl number if we divide momentum diffusivity by thermal diffusivity. Similarly, its equivalent is Schmidt number in mass transfer. Prandtl number is for heat transfer, Schmidt number is for mass transfer. Okay, so when you take the ratio of momentum diffusivity to mass diffusivity, we get Schmidt number. Okay, so we have another number called Lewis number, which is the ratio of this thermal diffusivity by mass diffusivity. Thermal diffusivity by mass diffusivity is called as Lewis number. So we have some dimensionless number. These two, Prandtl number is defined in heat transfer. So for mass transfer, we have these things. So they are equivalents. Okay, so that we will discuss later. So how to know that one? So we have what is momentum diffusivity, we know, which is mu by rho. You know what is thermal diffusivity, alpha equal to K by rho Cp, and mass diffusivity is DAV. Okay, so mu by rho can be also written as V, right, kinematic viscosity. So if you take the ratio of mu by rho by DAB, what it is? It is Schmidt number. Okay, so mu by rho DAB, momentum diffusivity by mass diffusivity, is Schmidt number. Okay, so we get Schmidt number as formula is this. The significance is, it is the ratio of momentum diffusivity to mass diffusivity. It is equivalent to Prandtl number, which is the ratio of momentum diffusivity to thermal diffusivity. Okay, and Lewis number is the ratio of thermal diffusivity to mass diffusivity. Okay, and to relate these two for analogies, what is similar to that one? Analogy, for analogy purpose, I'll ask you to, I hope all of us have come across a primary school, right? So primary school, PRCH, that is the relevance to heat transfer number with mass transfer number. In heat transfer, it is Prandtl number. What is the mass transfer equivalent of Prandtl number is? So remember primary school. So PRSC, that means Schmidt number is the equivalent mass transfer equivalent of Prandtl number in heat transfer. Okay, so I hope you will remember this. Just to remember this, PRSC is the equivalent. Primary school, that is Prandtl number, Schmidt number. Okay, so what is Prandtl number and what is Schmidt number? So we have Prandtl number for heat transfer and Schmidt number for mass transfer, right? So just we have seen what is Prandtl number. It is momentum diffusivity by thermal diffusivity, mu Cp by rho K. Okay, then Schmidt number is momentum diffusivity by mass diffusivity, mu by rho dAb. Okay, and similarly we have another number. So once we have this Prandtl number and Schmidt number, we have seen Prandtl number primary school. So Prandtl number is for heat transfer, Schmidt number is for mass transfer. We can define another number called Peclet number, which is the product of Reynolds number into Prandtl number. Peclet number for heat transfer is Reynolds number into Prandtl number, and Peclet number for mass transfer is Reynolds number into its equivalent in mass transfer. What is that? Primary school, SC, Schmidt number. Okay, so how this Peclet number is defined? We can write that Peclet number is equal to Peclet number for mass transfer is flux due to bulk flow of medium. So whatever it is, the flux due to the bulk flow of the medium to the diffusive flux across a layer of thickness L. Okay, so flux due to bulk flow of medium by diffusive flux across a layer of thickness L is the definition of Peclet number for mass transfer, which is Reynolds number into Schmidt number. Okay, this is equal to Reynolds number into Schmidt number. Okay, similarly, what is Peclet number for heat transfer? I hope in that course you are learning that. So it is Reynolds number into Prandtl number. So we can write the significance as it is the heat flux. In here it is mass flux. Here we have to tell that it is heat flux due to bulk flow. Same here it is mass flux due to bulk flow. Here it is heat flux due to bulk flow to the, here it is diffusive flux, means here it is going to be conduction flux across a thickness L. Flux due to conduction flux across a thickness or across a layer of thickness L. Okay, so that is Peclet number for heat transfer, which is equal to Reynolds number into Prandtl number. Okay, so this is one equivalent we have seen with respect to primary school. We have Prandtl number for heat transfer, Schmidt number for mass transfer, that we should not forget. Okay, similarly, have you seen this, madam? That is, we have another relevant numbers in heat transfer and mass transfer. I hope you know her. So she is the dream girl heroine. Last year the movie was released, right? Nashrat. Okay, so with that name also we can remember that one. What is the heat transfer number and mass transfer number which are relevant? Okay, so we have Nusselt number and Sherwood number. Nash. Okay, Nu for Nusselt number, Sh for Sherwood number. Okay, so Sherwood number in mass transfer is defined as it is a molecular mass transport resistance to convective mass transfer resistance. Okay, or you can simply say convective mass flux divided by mass flux for molecular diffusion. Okay, so simple words, Sherwood number is equal to convective mass flux divided by mass flux for molecular diffusion. Okay, so convective mass flux divided by mass flux for molecular diffusion is this one. Okay, so it's given by kg. This L can be characteristic length. If it is for pipe, you can say kc d by dab. Okay, so this L is the characteristic length. Okay, it is here. L is the characteristic length. Okay, so this mass transfer coefficient can be with respect to, we have already seen, it can be even kg. Okay, or it can be in other mass transfer units also, depending upon the driving force. Okay, so that is Sherwood number. What is its heat transfer relevant? I told you that is Nash. If you remember this Nash, Nu is the Nusselt number. What is Nusselt number? Nusselt number equivalent is this is Sherwood number, right? Convective mass flux by molecular diffusion flux, right? Mass flux for molecular diffusion. Then what is the equivalent for this Nusselt number? Nusselt number equal to convective heat flux divided by heat flux for conduction. See, whenever we say in mass transfer molecular diffusion, an equivalent term is conduction here. Heat flux for conduction. Okay, so it is given by H delta T by K by L delta T. So simply you will get HL by K. Okay, so that is Nusselt number and Sherwood number. So you remember Nusselt number is for heat transfer, Sherwood number is for mass transfer. Okay, and I have already told you what is Lewis number. Lewis number is the ratio of thermal diffusivity to mass diffusivity. Thermal diffusivity K by rho Cp divided by DAB. So we have K by rho Cp DAB, which is the Lewis number. Okay, Lewis number is encountered in the process involving simultaneous convective transfer of mass and energy. Okay, so heat and mass transfer cases we come across this Lewis number. I hope you will be using this more in heat transfer. If we want to perform the dimensional analysis for convective mass transfer using Buckingham pi theorems, so let us consider the transfer of mass from the walls of a circular conduit to a fluid. So we have a circular conduit like pipe. Okay, so we have a certain concentration at the surfaces CAS, and we are having a fluid flowing inside that one. So in the fluid the concentration is less, so there is a concentration difference between the surface and the liquid. Okay, so mass transfer is taking place from the solid surface to the bulk of the liquid. So there we assume a small thickness, thin film on the surface, and then we are going to determine what is the mass transfer coefficient in the surface in that thin film. Okay, so for that mass transfer coefficient as a function, we have fluid properties. Fluid properties are, we have density, viscosity. Okay, the dimensions, the properties of the shape dimensions, we have diameter. Okay, D, and flow properties, fluid flow property, that is the dynamics of the fluid. Flow property is, we have velocity, V, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so we have density, velocity, average velocity it can be. Okay, we know that velocity profile, you know, across a pipeline, right? So it is a parabolic if it is laminar flow condition, or it is going to be turbulent. If it is turbulent, it is going to be flat velocity profile except at the boundary layer. Okay, so that can be the velocity profiles. I hope I was audible. I'll just repeat. So if you consider the transfer of mass from the walls of a circular conduit which is having a diameter d, okay, to a fluid flowing through the conduit with the properties of fluid properties density rho and viscosity mu, with a fluid flow property, that is velocity, average velocity v. Okay, so then we can determine the what is the mass transfer coefficient, because mass transfer is taking place from the surface where the concentration is high. In the bulk of the liquid it is less, so there is a driving force for mass transfer, hence mass transfer will take place. So the mass transfer will be taking place. So let us say through this thin film we have a molecular diffusion taking place, and DAB is the mass transfer property. We have DAB, and In the thin film, what is the resistance? Inverse of resistance is mass transfer coefficient, which is Kc. And this mu is the mu and rho are the fluid properties, and d is the dimension, means any characteristic length. If it is flow past a flat solid, we are going to use L as the characteristic length, which is the distance from the leading edge of the flat plate. Okay, so that way we are considering 6 parameters, out of which Kc and Dab are mass transfer parameters, rho and mu are fluid property, and average velocity is V, and diameter is based on the geometry of the system. Okay, this diameter or any characteristic length L. Okay, and for that, if we should know what is the dimensions. Diameter is in meters in SI units, so we have the unit of L. Average velocity is meter per second, so we have the dimension of L t power minus 1. You can write like this, TL t minus 1. Mu is kg per meter second. Pascal second is equivalent to kg per meter second. So we have M, L inverse, T inverse. Please write this in your notebook. And rho is density kg per meter cube. So we have M, L power minus 3, and diffusivity is meter square per second. So we have meter is length, so L square t power minus 1. Kc is mass transfer coefficient, we have seen it is meter per second. Okay, so that is L t power minus 1. So these dimensions are important to derive the dimensionless numbers using Buckingham pi theorems. Okay, so now we have 6 parameters. We can proceed to arrive at the value. So we have 6. What are the very important parameter? We have K, and we have rho, V, D, mu, and then we have DAB. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have, according to Buckingham pi theorem, number of variables is 6. M is the minimum dimension required for any momentum transfer, heat transfer, and mass transfer. 3 dimensions are important: M, L, and T. That is, we want the unit of mass, we want the length, and time. So that way we have M equal to 3. So we can have 3 pi groups. So the number of pi groups that can be formed for the system is 6. Okay, so for that, first step is isolate the parameter of interest. We want to evaluate the parameter. Which parameter we want to evaluate? Isolate the parameter to evaluate. So we want to evaluate Kc. So we will keep this parameter. Okay, so that is the one thing. So if we can write Kc is equal to function of OVD mu DAB. Okay, and according to second Buckingham pi theorem, so how many pi groups can be formed? We can have 3 pi groups: pi 1, pi 2, and pi 3. So there are 3 pi groups possible, right? So what is this M value? M is corresponding to this one, 3. So we have 3 pi groups. So we can have n minus m, that is 3 number of pi groups can be formed. Okay, so to form 3 pi groups, what to get? We can write that we have function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 equal to 0. Okay, or even you can write, express one of the pi group as a function of other 2 pi groups. These are the properties defined by the second Buckingham pi theorem, right? And it's stated that according to second Buckingham pi theorem, each pi group is a function of, that is, we have pi group 1, pi group 2, and pi group 3. Each pi group is and we have to choose 3 repeating variables. Okay, so how to choose 3 variables? We have to choose 3 variables. So how to choose 3 variable? Taking care of 3 units, M, L, and T. Okay, so we should choose 3 variables such that it contains all dimensions required, all 3 primary dimensions, all dimensions which are primary. Okay, so we should have three variables. We have to choose three variables such that it covers all dimension. It covers all dimensions, or you can say all primary dimensions are covered. That is, M, L, T should be covered when you combine all the three parameters. Okay. And another thing is, no two should have the same units. For example, velocity as the unit of meter per second. Okay, Kc is having a unit of meter per second. Those two cannot be taken as the three variables. Okay, as the that cannot be a repeating variable. Okay, so because in pi groups it is a function of three repeating variable and one non-repeating variable. Okay, so we have to choose three repeating variables such that they don't have same units and all the three dimensions of ML and T are covered. Okay, and no two variables can have same units, same dimensions. Okay, and another point is the ratio. What does it mean? No two variable can have same dimension. The ratio should not form. The ratio should not form any dimensionless group. Because when you take a ratio of two variables which have same unit, what we get is a dimensionless number. Okay, so that way these together should not form any dimensionless groups. Okay, so that way we can choose three parameters like that. So if you, for example, if you choose DAB, because we are concerned about mass transfer, DAB, rho and D. Let us choose three. You can choose any three repeating variable. That's not the issue. Finally, we have to rearrange to get what is our desired number. Okay, so we randomly we are choosing DAB, rho and D. So what is the unit dimension of this one? Meter square per second. That is L square T minus. It is kg per meter cube. That is M L power minus 3. This is diameter, simply L. M, L, T. All three are covered. Okay. They are not having same unit such that the ratio will not form any dimensionless groups. Yes, taken care. So this is eligible three repeating variable. We have to chosen three repeating variables. Okay, so then what is pi group? We can write pi group as the pi1 is equal to function of, I'll write again here. If you write in the same place, you can write pi1 is equal to DAB power A1, rho power B1 and D power C1 and one non-repeating variable. So what is our, first I will take Kc as a non-repeating variable, power 1, that is without power. That is how this second pi group is, second Buckingham pi theorem defines the formation of pi groups. Okay, so this is one. So what is the dimension? What we can do is, we can write the dimension, compare the dimension. Pi group is without dimension, that is M power 0, L power 0, T power 0. Here what is the unit? DAB, L square T power minus 1 power A1. Rho is having ML power minus 3 power B1. Diameter is having L power C1 into this one is, what is the unit of mass transfer coefficient? Meter per second. That is LT power minus 1. LT power minus 1. Okay. So now if we compare the equating the exponents of dimension M, so what do we get? Equate it. There is only one M here. Okay, so that means that left hand side is 0, right hand side is B1. So what we get is B1 equal to 3. Okay, so comparing the dimensions of L, we have left hand side is 0. Here it is 2A1. Here it is minus 3B1. Here it is C1. And it is plus 1. Okay, so this is B1 is equal to 0. Or what it is? 3. Okay, so we have b1 equal to 3, that means this term is 0 and this is equal to 0. So next we can make t, comparing the dimensions of exponents of t. We have here minus a1, here you have minus 1, which gives a1 is equal to minus 1. Okay, let it be a b. Okay, abc we are already using, let it be 1 2 3. So substituting the value of b1 here, 1 and 3 in 2, what we get is 2 into minus 1 minus 2, right? So c1 value we will get. Okay, what is the c1 value? You will get c1 equal to 1. Okay, for example 2 into minus 1 plus c1 plus 1 equal to 0. This minus 2 plus 1 plus c1, this makes c1 minus 1 equal to 0. c1 is equal to 1. Okay, so we can substitute the power values in pi groups. Let it be 2. Yeah, we already defined this as 1. So substituting these conditions, that is a1 equal to minus 1, b1 equal to 0, c1 equal to 1. These conditions are 3. Substitute 3 into, okay, we get pi groups. What do you get? Substitute that one. We will get pi equal to dab power, a1 value is minus 1, density value b1 value is 0, and diameter power 1 into kc. Okay, so rho power 0 is 1. So what you get is pi 1 equal to kc into d divided by dab. Okay, kc into d divided by dab is nothing but Sherwood number as such. Okay, so we got one dimensionless number directly. Even if you don't get directly, because we assume some other repeating parameters, we can always multiply, divide several pi groups to get what is our desired pi group. Okay, so this is a defined pi group, Sherwood number for mass number. What is the relevant number for in heat transfer? I told you about Nash. So for Sherwood number, Nusselt number is the relevant number in the heat transfer. Sherwood number is for mass transfer. Okay, we have seen the definition of Sherwood number also already. Okay, similarly we can do for pi 2. Pi 2 is equal to dab power a2 rho power b2 d power c2 into another non-repeating variable, I think v bar. Which one you can take? Average velocity can be taken v bar. Okay, so v is velocity. So write the dimensions. You can write mlt power m power 0 l power 0 t power 0 equal to same. Whatever we have done here, we have to repeat now. Please repeat same thing here. So dab units, please write L square t power minus 1 power a2. Only thing is there, here we wrote a1 b1 c1. Here we will be writing a2 b2 b2 c2 a2 b2. What is the unit of velocity? Meter per second, that is L t power minus 1. Okay, so now we can easily equate the exponents of m. Dimension m, left hand side is 0, equal to m is only here. So simply we have b2. Okay, so here also we have b2 equal to 0. Equating the dimensions of exponents of dimension L, we have 2a2 plus b2. What we are writing? L, no? So minus 3b2. Okay. 2a, okay, L, no? So it is 2a2 minus 3b2 plus c2 plus 1. Yes, it is L power 1, right? Is equal to 0. Okay, so b is already 0. If you compare the t value, the exponents of dimension t in the left hand side 0. B is equal to minus a2 minus 1. That means that a2 equal to minus 1. Okay, so substituting, let it be, already we wrote 1 2 3, let it be 4, let it be 5, and let it be 6. Substituting 4 and 6 in 5, so a2 is minus 1. So we have 2 into minus 1 plus c2 equal to 1. This minus 2, if it goes to there, it is 2 into a2 is minus 1. A2 minus 2 plus c2. So what you get is c2 equal to 1. a2 you will get a2 equal to minus 1, b2 equal to 0. So we get c2 equal to 1. Okay. Okay, here it is minus plus 1, no? If it goes to other side, it is going to be minus 1. So minus 1 plus 2 is plus 1. Yes, that was I was thinking. Minus 2 plus c2 plus 1 equal to 0. That is c2 minus 1 equal to 0. Therefore, c2 is equal to 1. Yeah, this part you can cut. So that way, we have a condition for A, B, and C. What are they? b2 equal to 0, a2 equal to minus 1, c2 equal to plus 1. Okay, so let it be condition number. Okay, let it be 3, we already wrote. Let it be 4. So if we substitute this in pi 2, where we define pi 2. So 4 in 5. So we will get what is the pi 2 group. So we have pi 2 equal to dab power a2 is minus 1, dab rho power 0, and what is the third unit is diameter, d power 1. Fourth unit we have taken in this case is v. So what we have is rho vd by dab. Okay. No, rho power 0 is 1, right? So we don't have that here. Simply we have vd by dab as a pi group. That means we did not get a direct pi group here. However, we will achieve this group, achieve the required pi group by multiplying or dividing with third pi group. Okay, so we will have a third pi group. So third pi group we can consider pi 3 equal to, same thing you repeat please. I'll just make it fast. dab equal to a power a3, rho power b3, d power c3, non-repeating variable. What is left out now? Mu, viscosity. Okay, power into mu. So if you write the dimensions, mlt, m power 0, l power 0, t power 0. For this you just repeat what you have written already. L square t power minus 1 power a3, ml power minus 3 power b3, diameter is L power c3, viscosity is kg per meter second, that is kg is mass, m L inverse t inverse power 1. Okay, so equating now the equating the exponents of dimension m, what we get is left hand side equal to 0. So 2a3, and here it is minus 3b3 plus c3, here then it is again minus 1. Okay, so that is the comparison of L. What is the comparison of m? it is going to be 0 equal to, here only here is there. Okay, B3, here M is there, plus 1. This means that B3 is equal to minus 1. And similarly, when we compare for the powers of exponents of dimension n, we get this expression. And similarly, when we compare for t, exponents of powers t, we get minus a3 and then here minus 1, which makes a3 equal to minus 1. So let us give a number 7, 8 and 9. Substituting 7 and 9, 8. Substituting 7 and 9 in 8, we can substitute B3 value is minus 1, A3 value also minus 1. So we had what is C3. Simplify to get what is C3 value. So we have 2 into A3 which is minus 1, minus 3 into B3 which is again minus 1, plus C3 minus 1 equal to 0. So this is minus 2, minus into minus plus 3, minus 1 plus C3 equal to 0. So this 3 minus 3 equal to 0. Therefore, you have C3 equal to 0. Okay, so we can substitute A3, B3, C3 value in this equation. Okay, so let it be a number. Gives 5, 6 is over 7. So these values A3 equal to minus 1, B3 equal to minus 1 and C3 equal to 0 be 8. Substituting the conditions of 8 in 7, substituting 8 in 7, we will get what is pi 3. So we get pi 3 equal to DAB rho D and mu. That means there is no D term here. So what we get is mu by rho DAB, which is nothing but your mu by rho is momentum diffusivity, DAB is mass diffusivity, which means that this is one of the number, right? So what is that? What is momentum diffusivity? By mass diffusivity. So we have mu by rho is kinematic viscosity, DAB is momentum molecular diffusivity. So momentum diffusivity by mass diffusivity is nothing but Schmidt number, and it is equivalent to primary school. What is that? Prandtl number. It is equivalent to Prandtl number in the heat transfer. Okay, so where we will defining like momentum diffusivity by thermal diffusivity as the Prandtl number, right? So we have pi 3. So but pi 2 group is somewhat we got, but we can obtain a required group of Reynolds number is what we want. Okay, so we can get, if you divide, just checking, it is like randomly we have to try, because we did not get directly the Reynolds number, right? So we have to do something with other pi group to attain a required pi group. So pi group we got is VD by DAB, right? VD by DAB. And what is pi 3? Divide by pi 3. It is mu by rho DAB. So mu by rho DAB. So DAB gets cancelled. So what we get is rho VD by mu. So which is nothing but Reynolds number. Okay, so we can write pi 3 as a function of, or you can say pi 1 as a function of, we can write pi 1 as a function of pi 2 by pi 3. It is allowed by in Buckingham pi theorem. Okay, rules of Buckingham pi theorem. Pi 2 by pi 3 and pi 3. So that's what we want. We have in the form Sherwood number is equal to a function of Reynolds number in Schmidt number. Okay, so the dimensional analysis on its own won't give us a final equation which will be of any practical use. Okay, so what we attain is we got, okay, these are the dimensionless number. So if you want to, these are, it is a function of it we are obtaining. Okay, so what is the relationship we will never know, right? So we can say that if you want to introduce a proportionality constant, you can say Sherwood number is equal to a constant a into, it can be any function, no, it can be Reynolds number power a, okay, already a is used, Reynolds number power b, Schmidt number power c. Okay, so that way we can get a relationship, and these values of a, b and c are to be determined experimentally. That is why these are called empirical equations. These constants are to be obtained not from any fundamental equation, or we did not even get it through dimensional analysis. These ABC values will be obtained by performing the experiments. Okay, so when you perform the experiments, what happens is we are going to have, because turbulence is like ocean, we don't know what is the, for each geometry, a geometry is like this, a geometry is like this, we have a different geometry like this for each geometry, and the fluid may be the same. Okay, so the turbulence, the nature of eddies formed for each material is going to be different. Okay, so that way we have all these constant depending on the values of a, b and c, depending upon geometry of the solid, geometry of the flow system, and flow regimes. Okay, the geometry through which the fluid is flowing and the flow regimes all will determine the value of these constants a, b and c. So what we have obtained, we have obtained Sherwood number is equal to a function of, that is a constant, already a constant function is over, is equal to a into Reynolds number power b into Schmidt number power c. Okay, so that way we have the expressions. So, and this determining this ABC has to be done through experiments, which will help us to evaluate the mass transfer coefficients. Okay, so the experiments are needed to determine the mass transfer coefficients. Okay, now we have Sherwood number is equal to a function of this, right? Sherwood number equal to a function of Reynolds number and Schmidt number. So now I will see some of this. As I said, each geometry, for example, we may be coming across a specific system. Okay, so we may be coming across a specific system. For example, gas absorption in a falling film. Because falling film, in the sense you have a long tube. In the mass transfer laboratory, you will be performing the experiment next time. So what will happen? You'll have a thin liquid layer. It is like falling film, because a liquid is continuously flowing down. So that means you have a thin film. The diameter is so big. Okay, so and we have air flowing across it. Okay, so air is passing across it. So what will happen? Whatever, let me say this liquid, or let me say this is gas, and the liquid has less concentration of A. Okay, and the gas has a concentration, high concentration. If Ca1 is greater than Ca2, gas has the solute A. Okay, the concentration of A is Ca1, which is higher than this in the liquid. So what will happen? The mass transfer will happen, right? From the gas to liquid will happen through this thin falling film. So this is a typical case of, you have fluid mechanics, momentum transfer, fluid is moving, heat also there, because gas may be entering at a different temperature, heat transfer can take place simultaneously, and mass transfer also can take place. That is one example. Okay, so there is another example of agitated vessels. Agitated vessels, what we do, we introduce bubbles, gas bubbles into the system. Either it can be done by introducing air into the system, or even you can have agitators in the system. So we have agitated vessels. Okay, and here also, depending upon whether the diameter of the bubble, with what is the diameter of the bubble, are we having small diameter bubble or having big diameter bubbles are continuously introduced in the system, how the agitation is maintained in this. So that will be impacting the mass transfer value of the mass transfer coefficient. So here also we are going to have mass transfer coefficient. So in the bubbles also we are going to have mass transfer coefficients. Okay, and even we can have vetted wall column. Vetted wall column. So in the case of vetted wall column, this is again, so this is vetted wall column, again similar to this only, vetted wall. We have a wall which is wet, so we have vetted wall column. So in these three are examples for simple geometries. Okay, we can even able to achieve some of the values for these systems. Okay, say for example, when you consider a flow through the flat plate, so you are going at any distance x, it can be, so Reynolds number will be defined for Reynolds number at a distance of x, where x is the distance from this leading edge. Okay, so we are going to have L here, characteristic length is x, which is L, or the characteristic length is L. So we can have a correlation for these conditions. When the fluid is moving with a uniform velocity of u infinity, we are going to have a relationship to determine the mass transfer coefficient, which is Sherwood number is equal to, say, it's in the form of the same. Okay, Sherwood number equal to a into re power b c power c. So that is the general value. So for each system we will have different abc value with restricted values of Reynolds number or Schmidt number, whatever is a Peclet number also come into picture. So they will give the range in which the particular experiment is done. So the correlation is obtained through experiments. Okay, so we have Sherwood number equal to 0.664, Reynolds number power 0.5, Schmidt number power 0.33, Sherwood number at the length L. Okay, Sherwood number at the each length we are going to have different. So we have Sherwood number at length L equal to 0.0365, Reynolds number per 0.8, Schmidt number per 0.33 under turbulent flow condition, when Reynolds number at the length L is greater than 2 into 10 power 5. Okay, so that way first step in the numerical that we are going to solve are the cases you are going to come across in any industry or internship or anywhere you do calculation. So first you will be determining what is the Reynolds number value for the system, and you will say choose the correlation from the literature accordingly. Okay, my value is this, so I think this correlation will work for me, I will take it. My value is greater than this value as mentioned, so I will be making use of these expressions. Like that we have to choose the correlation wisely after determining the limits, the applicable limit. So if you consider another mass transfer coefficient, same thing. Okay, so again we have another relationship similar to that one. Okay, when Reynolds number is less than 2 into 10 power 5, greater than this one. Okay, and we have, if it is a sphere, if a flow past a sphere, single sphere is there, based on the, for a single sphere we have a mass transfer coefficient similar to this expression is applicable. We have a constant 2 plus c into Reynolds number power m into 0.33. So this is the expression for flow past a sphere. Okay, so if, for example, if you have a naphthalene ball, mass transfer is taking place across this one. So in those cases, this number is applicable. So you can say Reynolds number is rho v d power mu. Okay, when velocity is 0, what will be the value of Reynolds number? That is on typical repeated GATE examination question. When the air is flowing, air has a velocity, right? So when the velocity is 0, that is, it is like a stationary room. Then what is the value of Sherwood number? When velocity is 0, Reynolds number equal to 0. So this term, total term will become 0. So we have Sherwood number equal to 2 when the velocity is 0. So like that, we can make use of these type of expressions to solve this. But we have to see what type of, there are so many relationship between Sherwood number, Reynolds number and Schmidt number. We have to choose them, and what is the application range mentioned, that we have to make use. This is applicable when your Reynolds number is in this range. Reynolds number is between 2 and 800, and your Schmidt number is between 0.6 and 2.7. So we can make use of this expression. Okay, this is for mass transfer from a single solid sphere into gas streams. And similarly for liquid stream, we are going to have different expression for which Peclet number range is given. We have seen what is Peclet number. Okay, so then the Peclet number is less than 10,000 and greater than 10,000. We can make use of these two correlations. So we should, if a problem statement is given, we should able to make use of this correlation to solve the problems. For wetted wall column, there is an expression called Gilliland-Sherwood correlation, which is again given by Sherwood number. Sherwood number equal to 0.023 into Reynolds number power 0.83, Schmidt number power 0.44. So this is applicable for wetted wall column. Okay, so we should write what are the each terms is. Okay, what is REG? Reynolds number equal to rho of gas, V of gas into diameter divided by mu of gas. Okay, Schmidt number of gas is equal to mu of gas by rho of gas into DAB of the gas. Okay, DAB of the gas. Okay, where rho g, Vg and mu g are density, viscosity and velocity of the gas. Okay, so that way when we have turbulent flow in wetted wall column, we can make use of these things. Okay, so please practice all these concepts which are discussed in this class. In this lecture, we have defined several dimensionless numbers which are relevant to evaluate the mass transfer coefficient. Right? We have seen there are 4 ways by which mass transfer coefficient can be evaluated. One is dimensional analysis, another one is analogies to momentum, heat and mass transfer, another one is exact laminar boundary layer analysis, and fourth one is approximate boundary layer analysis. Right? So in this regard, in this particular lecture, we have focused on dimensional analysis and analogies between the things. So we will further continue with the analogies between momentum, heat and mass transfer in the next lecture. Thank you so much for joining my classroom. Meet you in the next lecture. Bye bye.